Few industries are as male-dominated as construction. According to one U.S. industry group, women make up only 9% of its workforce. In today's Bloomberg Equality, our conversation about the bottom line impact of diversity, I sat down with Richard Wood. He is CEO of Plaza Construction, one of the largest U.S. construction firms, to discuss this gender imbalance.
One of the big issues in the construction industry is the ability to communicate clearly and to maintain these principles. And from my perspective, when I look around at the people that work for me, between men and women, on average, women do a better job at that communication. So there's no reason why they shouldn't grow within the industry. One of the difficulties on the labor side, the blue-collar side, have been the acceptance and the embracing of women into those types of work roles. And it really shouldn't be a difficult thing, and attracting women who want to do those types of jobs. They're good-paying jobs, and generally there is very little pay disparity. When you look back at World War II and how we staffed our factories and our construction projects, Rosie the Riveter, we really relied on women to perform a lot of these roles. And unfortunately, after the Second World War, a lot of those women in construction, women in factory jobs were lost as the men came home. It was a different era,
Certainly.
But
different circumstances.
Different circumstances. But it's not like women do any less of a job. In fact, as I said earlier, from a management perspective, they're very capable, and there really is no disparity in women and their capability to do a good job.
So talk a little bit about the internal resistance that there might be among the men, especially on the blue-collar side, for women to enter that part of the industry.
I think that it's waned, at least in certain marketplaces. I'm sure there are still Neanderthalic, type of attitudes in certain areas of the country.
But here in New York?
Here in New York, I think it's well accepted. It's a matter of really just women gravitating into the industry and getting the experience. Part of the problem with women advancing is that in order to do a good job, you do need certain experience levels.
Such as?
I mean, if you're in a blue-collar job and you're, a craftsperson, having the experience of knowing how things go together and go together efficiently with a level of quality that's unsurpassed, it takes some time to become adept at it, and so there's a little bit of a learning curve, and that's true in the management role also.
That's true for any man who enters this industry as well.
Absolutely equal.
So let's talk about education or apprenticeship or practical experience. What level of education is needed versus what is usually brought with a candidate? And are apprenticeship programs open enough to women?
I think historically they have not been apprenticeship programs. I think that there's more of an inclination now to open it up to women. I think having industry advocates like professional women in construction to make sure that there's fairness and equality is important going forward. I think as far as education goes, there are certain required educational levels. Even, electrical, for Local 3, you have to have 2 years of college, as an example. So there are certain requirements that you have to meet in order to have an opportunity.